Hey, it's Janelle and welcome to my channel. I am back and today I want to do a mid-year refresh. So next week is July 1st. If you followed my channel for the past few videos, you will know that I was in like a major planner slump. I basically set all my planners aside and I really was just using my notebook. This is the same notebook that I've showed on my channel many times. Very, very lightly. Like I wasn't even using it every single day. But anyway, I just set all my planner stuff aside for a while and I was like, I'm in a slump. I don't know what to do. I thought a lot about what I need in a planner, what I want in a planner, and how would be the best way to set it all up, kind of refresh everything. And that's what I've done. And here I am to show you my new lineup for the second half of the year. So here we go. Let me show you. Okay, so this is going to be my main planner. This is my N1 standard size planner. This one is going to be my journal. And then this Erin Condren is going to be like my overview, kind of zoomed out version of everything. So let me go through each one of these. I'll start with the Erin Condren because this should be pretty quick. I set this up in, I think, my last video that I posted on my channel. I moved all of the June pages over so I could start it early. This is what my monthly looked like. And for my Erin Condren planner, I think I really just want to use it mostly for the monthly, so I can just kind of see my whole month at a glance. I really love the size of the monthly spread in here, and I like the dashboard pages that come with the Erin Condren. Let me cover this up really quick. So I put my bills over here. You can probably see that through the sticky note, can't ya? So I put my bills over here. Usually I put my goals and like other notes, but for June, like I said, I've been in kind of a slump, so I wasn't really using this too much. And this is how I've been using the weeklies in my Erin Condren for the month of June. Very, very sparse, literally just putting down like the main thing I need to know. Let's see, like this. Very just nothing cute, no stickers, no nothing. Same with this. I was kind of sporadically using this notebook, but like this week I did Tuesday. Like this week I just used it for Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was it. I don't have anything else in this notebook. So I've really just kind of been using kind of this when I've wanted like a weekly overview, kind of my notebook when I felt like I needed just free space. And that's how I've been using the weeklies in this Erin Condren so far. But going forward, since I kind of have my new planner system starting July 1st, I'm probably not going to use the weeklies. Like this week, I kind of was just doing like my habits that I wanted to do throughout the day, but not really writing much else in here. Yeah, so very, very sparsely using this. Going forward, I think I'm just going to use the monthly spreads and then use like the dashboard pages and stuff for like notes and keeping track of like the monthly things. Other than that, that's probably all I'm going to use my Erin Condren for. We'll see. I kind of hop in and out of this Erin Condren planner throughout the year as I feel like I need it. That's kind of what I've always done with my Erin Condren. So I might hop into the weeklies in here when I feel like it. But for me, mostly this is going to be just like zoomed out monthly overview type of things. I don't know why, but I feel like I need something like that. Just like if I have appointments that come up like months in advance, they would go in here. That way, like I don't lose things if I do switch up my planner. So this is kind of like my stable spot to put things that are kind of more like in the future, stuff like that. I don't know if that really makes sense, but to me it does. So that's what my Erin Condren is going to be. And something that I've never actually really done before is have a completely separate book for journaling and a completely separate book for a planner. I've always tried to combine the two. I've always wanted a planner with enough room for journaling. Well, that does not work out very well for me ever. And that's why I feel like I've always hopped planners so often and so much is because I'm always trying to find that perfect planner that can hold everything. And I've kind of realized in thinking about everything through my like planner slump, I think I need to just have 2 completely separate books, one for looking ahead and planning and functional stuff, and then one for looking in the past for memory keeping and journaling and all the fun stuff like that. So that's what these 2 are. So this one is Sterling Ink B6. I'm decided to try to go B6 because in the past when I've tried to use the cousin and stuff, it's very rare that I will fill an entire A5 page every single day. I decided to try a B6. I have never really used a B6 planner before. So I'm giving it a try for the second half of the year, and I'll see if I like it going into next year. So this is kind of like an experiment on the size, but I already know I like the Sterling Ink and how it's laid out and everything. This is a half year, only the second half of the year. So it starts July 1st and goes through December, and that's it. So it's one of the tiny books. And then this, I have a B6 Stology. I've had this since last year, but I never really did anything with it. I kind of messed around in some of the pages at the front and then ripped them out, but I never really used this. And I just have it in my cover here if I want extra pages. I don't know how many pages I'll end up using in this, so if I need extra pages, I can use my Stology. So I haven't really set up too much in here. I just put some scrapbook paper in this clear cover because this is the brown color and I don't love that brown color. So I just covered it with some paper. Not gonna use the front pages in this because I don't really feel like I need them for anything. Again, this is a journal and memory keeper. For the monthlies, I will probably just kind of write in what I do throughout the month in the box, just like one thing per day. And then it is a vertical weekly spread, so I will fill this out just like I do. I've always felt like the Hobonichi Cousin, the weeks always tripped me up if I was trying to use it for memories only, because the weekly spread is way too big for me to fill in for just memory stuff. If I'm not putting to-dos and all the extras in there, weekly is just way too big. So that's another reason why I wanted to try this B6 size. And so yeah, I'll just kind of fill in my weeklies as I normally do, but just more so with things I did rather than productivity type things. And then in the back, I get 183 just blank pages. So I'm going to use this as a journal. And part of my planner slump that I was in is because of the journaling. And journaling was really like stressing me out, tripping me up. When I made a video about it, I got lots of comments with a lot of advice and ideas, and that is part of the reason why I love this planner community, because we all give each other ideas and everyone is so nice and they understand where we're coming from. I was talking with one of my planner friends, Ashley Carlson, and she is the one that kind of gave me the idea of how I'm going to use my Erin Condren. And then the whole journaling aspect. I got a comment from, her name is Life with MJB, and she left a comment on my video, and then she made another video of her own, kind of expanding more on the topic a little bit. Something she said in her video really, really resonated with me. It was kind of like, you don't need to journal every little mundane thing that you do. You only need to like journal the bigger things that you want to remember. For everybody, that's going to be different. Like some people might only want to journal like the big events that happen in their life. Other people might want to remember like that we had a game night and I played games with my boys and like the funny things that they said. Those are smaller things, but they're definitely still worth documenting. But then on those days where it's just like, I work all day, I get off work, I make dinner, clean the kitchen, lay in bed and go to sleep, like that is not a day that I need to journal. I don't need to write that down. That's not something I want to remember. There's no need to remember stuff like that. So it's kind of like, yes, that really, really resonated with me. Like, I don't know why, but I kind of felt like I have to journal every single day and like document every single thing that I do, which I know sounds ridiculous, but like we all put these like weird rules in our heads about planning and journaling, and certain planners can only be used for certain things. And it's like, none of that is true. That's all our own made up rules. It's ridiculous. And I realized that's what I was doing to myself. So it's kind of like that whole thing reframed my thinking of journaling. And that's also why I wanted these undated pages. So that way, like if I have a day where nothing really happened, I'm not feeling the urge to want to journal anything, I don't have to. And then I can just continue on back here. And yeah, I'm very excited to start this journal for the second half of the year. And I'll see how the B6 size works out for me. But yeah, that is going to be my journal. This is strictly just like looking back on my life, everything in the past. You know, what did I do yesterday and fill it in. This is not planning forward. So I'm trying to draw a line in the sand between memory keeping and journaling and planning. That way I have clear boundaries and borders of like where certain things will go within my system. Is it going to go in this book or is it going to go in my planner? Because that's something that I've struggled with in the past as well. Especially always trying to use different planners and different books. Certain things, like maybe if I had like a piece of ephemera that I wanted to put in my journal, I go on vacation and I get a souvenir sticker or something. And it's like, well, where do I put it? Because I only have one of them. And it's like, do I put it in this planner or this planner? And like now I know stuff like that will go in my journal. And then if I have extra stuff, I can put it in my planner. I have that definition of what each thing is specifically for. That way I know where to put certain things. So let's move on to my planner. This is the one I'm most excited about. Okay, so this isn't too much different from what I was using before. I changed into my white Moterm cover. Previously, I was in my lavender Moterm cover. So I just switched up the cover back to my white one. I still have all the same things in my pockets. These are just, I use the pockets functionally. I usually don't like to decorate them in any sort of way. I have this clear pocket. I just changed up the scrapbook paper that I put in here to kind of use as like a cover, I guess. Just have some sticky notes and these are all my Dutch Bros stickers. Anytime I go to Dutch Bros on a sticker day, I put the stickers in here until I decide where I want to use them. And I wrote the library hours for the summer. I want to start going to the library more, but I also got to read up the books I currently have before I start going to the library. And then a little post that my son made. Okay, so I have this notebook. It's a Sterling Ink N1 size notebook, and it is the smaller one, the 269 pages in here. And this is just a blank notebook. I'm gonna use this for just like scratch notes, meal planning, brainstorming, and stuff like that. So this is really like, probably gonna be really messy, really ugly, I don't know, but so far I just have put like this is my entire TBR on Goodreads, all the books that I want to read. And then I went on Libby, which is the library app, and I kind of marked each one so I know which ones are available and whether they're audiobook or ebooks. And then that way, when I want a new book to read, I can go on here and see which ones that the library actually has and like what format it's in, because that's just really helpful to me. So that's the only thing I put in here now is just this like random list. But yeah, I'll put my meal planning in here and just any brainstorming type of notes. And then this is the fun part. This is my Coffee Monsters Co. little folder. It came in her subscription box back at the beginning of the year. I just like keeping it in here on this little string, and I have like stickers and stuff in here. This is the new planner. I got the Academic Start Sterling Ink, and this is the N1 horizontal. I decided to change it up and go to a horizontal layout, which is like the Hobonichi Weeks layout, but just a little bit bigger because we're in a standard size. I've been actually kind of using one of my old ones the past couple of weeks. Like this is the current week. I've been kind of using it just to experiment with the layout and get used to this layout, because normally I am not comfortable in a horizontal. But I do think that with this size, horizontal I feel like just works a lot better than the vertical. The vertical is just, the columns are just too narrow. Yeah. Let's start from the beginning. And I just decorated my cover with these stickers. Opening it up, I just covered it with scrapbook paper. I love doing that on the opening cover. I do that in like almost every planner I get. And then I just put these letter stickers down. I got these letters from the Dollar Tree actually, and they're like little chocolate chip cookie letters, and I thought those were really cute. So I just wrote my name out, put this little sticker. I still want to put more stickers and stuff on it, but I'm good with it at this point. And then I just put a little clear pocket to put pictures in. I've been loving doing that recently. I did that in my last one too. So nothing too new right there. I do want to deck this out with stickers as well. Just haven't done that quite yet. I just put a couple sticky notes here. Oop. Then we have the year at a glance view. I put all of the birthdays and important dates down here at the bottom. It's a little bit cramped, but it works. And then I use the year at a glance to track my menstrual cycle. Okay, and then these next two pages are 2 blank pages. The intention, I think, is to use these as like a vision board, but what I decided to do was use them for my little logs that I want to keep. I'm gonna write out like all the TV shows and movies that I want to watch on here. I am not a big TV and movie watcher at all. So, you know, I'm a YouTube person and I read, and that's usually what I like to do. But you know, people mention shows and movies sometimes. It's like, oh, I need to watch that. So I'll write those down here. Anything that happens with my car, my hiking log for the year. I haven't been on a hike since February, and I need to do another one. This is the goals breakdown pages that they give you at the front, and I decided to section those out for my bills. For my bills, I usually just need like a checklist, and once it's paid, I cross it off or highlight it, and I know it's done. I don't do anything super fancy with my bill stuff. Most of these are on auto pay anyway. There's just like a select few that I need to manually pay every month. I only plan to use this until December, so I only needed 6 months for this page. This I'm going to use for my weigh-ins, so I'll start that once July starts. And then these quarterly pages here, I'm going to use to track my movement, my workouts and walks and things. So I'll write those down in the column when I do them. And then down here at the bottom, I usually like to do monthly goals, and usually I do about 4. So I do like 4 little bullet points of goals that I want to work on for the month. So I'll just kind of bullet point those down here in these boxes. And these over here, I honestly haven't decided what I want to use these boxes for yet, but I definitely have room to add anything I feel like I need right there. And then we get started into the planner. So this planner doesn't start until the weeklies in this planner don't start until July 1st. They give you the month of June, and I just kind of did this little page on the monthly spread of June. Just decorate it with stickers, and I put these little quotes on here. It's kind of funny, maybe a little embarrassing, but I was talking to ChatGPT about my planner slump, and I was like, how do I get out of this planner slump? What should I use? I was having it give me suggestions on planners to use, and I was talking to it about why I feel the need to like switch up my planners all the time and why I have such a hard time sticking to one planner. So it suggested that I write out these quotes, and it says, I am committing to this planner. It is holding my life with love, space, and fun. And then the best planner is the one I actually use. So I wrote those quotes down right here so I can always remember that from ChatGPT. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then I went through and I decorated July through December in here on the monthly spreads. I just put a little bit of washi down. Nothing more than that. And I stopped at December because I plan to start a new planner in January. But yeah, this is my July so far. Not much going on in July, which is nice. So, yeah, then we'll get to the weekly. And again, this is the horizontal. Very excited to get into using this. In the back pages, I am going to use these back pages for dailies. And something I've realized earlier this year is I spend most of my day in the daily pages. I only need a weekly spread to just kind of reference the week to see what's coming up. And that's why I think I will be okay with a horizontal, even though I'm not normally a horizontal planner. I just need a quick overview of the week and then some little notes or habit tracking stuff over here. but I'm mostly living in my daily pages. So that's what I plan to use all of these back pages for. I did put a few lists at the front. So I put my holiday schedule. I did this low energy day mini routine. I'm gonna start a new book log starting July 1st for the second half of the year. So I made this book log here, a couple pages of that. And then I got some new gel pens and I swatched them right here. And then I'm gonna start my July. I don't think I have any more lists that I want to add before I go into my dailies, but I have the space here to kind of add a few more lists if I come up with anything before July starts. I probably should show these gel pens just in case I get questions about them. Let's do that. Okay, these are the gel pens that I swatched right here. It is a 100 pack of glitter gel pens. It is from this brand, AEN Art, and they were around $20, maybe less, maybe like 17, 18, I don't remember exactly. It was about 20 bucks or so for this 100 pack of gel pens, and the pack like opens up like an accordion, so it folds out into one long thing. And then you can kind of fold it up. I think I just messed it up because I was being crazy. But I really like these gel pens. The whole thing that started it was I was really wanting the Jelly Roll pens, and they were like $72 on Amazon for the big pack. And I was just like, no, I can't do that. So I started watching all these videos of people comparing all these different gel pens. And these ones were probably the best one, and they like don't skip or anything. And the Jelly Roll ones were skipping really bad in people's videos. And then these were like great. So I was like, oh my God, I'm getting those. These are the swatches of the gel pens. And they're all glitter gel. So anyway, those are my new little pens that I've been playing around with. But yeah, I'm gonna do dailies back here, and that is gonna be my new planner system. I'm gonna have a notebook for just like random stuff. I'll have my dailies back here, and then my monthly and weeklies up here. So this is all just planning and brainstorming and notes here. And then this is gonna be all journaling and memories in here. So I am very excited to get started in July with these new planners, which is literally next week these planners start. I just wanted to make a quick video to kind of show you what I plan to use, and then once I get into these planners, I can maybe do some plan with me's again. I haven't done one of those in a while. So that is all for now, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.